Hey everybody, Matt Galogli here, coming to you with the headset on as we've got a busy afternoon here in the office, so just thought I'd keep the background noise down a little bit for you. So what we're going to do is we're going to continue this conversation that we had this morning with regards to reimbursement rates. Now recently we have added another tool to our toolbox, and that is specifically how we're helping offices take their office visit reimbursement rate from $70 and taking it in excess of $300 or $350. And we're doing that in a very short amount of time frame. Usually within 60 to 90 days, you'll start to see those checks rolling in, and have had some significant success taking clinics that were doing $25,000 a month in within 6 short months, taking them to doing well over $100,000 a month from seeing the exact same patients. So we're going to talk specifically more about what it takes to scale your practice from low 6 figures all the way up to mid 6 figures. Now, if you are interested into seeing if we can help your practice, for those of you that take insurance, I do want to let you know that we are taking a small number, a minimum of, or I'm sorry, a maximum, I should say, of 4 new clinics this month for the next couple of weeks. Maximum we're going to take is 4 clinics, 4 practices that meet our criteria, and we're going to work with them to take the reimbursement rates from, say, from the $60 to $70 range. Even if you're doing $100 in reimbursement rate and get you above $300, a lot of cases we can get you up to $350, tripling your business within the next 12 months. And this is something proven that we have done time and time again. So we're going to share that with 4 people. If you would like to be 4 offices, if you'd like to be one of those 4 offices, please just type in the comment section below scale, or private message me via Facebook or LinkedIn or Instagram or however you've come across this. And we'll be more than happy to engage a conversation. Okay, conversation takes about 30 minutes, if that. Really might take probably about 15. There's just one very quick question we need to ask you. So let's go to today's topic. Let's talk more about this scaling a practice. Okay, so for fun, I want to tell you what I did this afternoon. So I went out for lunch today. Went out to where did I go? Jimmy John's. Went to Jimmy John's. Had their unwich, the lettuce wrap, and I'm sitting there and I get done eating. And I decide for fun what I'm going to do is I am going to just Google medical practices for sale in North Carolina. I live in North Carolina. I live in Charlotte, North Carolina. And what I found appalled me, but it didn't surprise me, if that makes any sense. And let me explain. Let me explain what I mean by that. I wasn't surprised by the number of medical practices that were for sale. I was surprised at reading between the lines. Okay, so I have a background in acquisitions, did a lot of real estate deals, used to be in the golf business. When I was in the golf business, we actually purchased underperforming golf properties, and what I did was I was the guy that came in and made them profitable in a very short amount of time, usually within a year. It's how I kind of got started doing this. I love doing turnarounds. It's the thing that I'm fascinated with, quite frankly. And I'll do more videos on that about how to turn a practice around. But let's talk about what I have found. So this was a quick search. I didn't do very much seeking, and there's just some basic information. Okay, so this is an internal medicine practice. It's in Wilmington, North Carolina. It's a family practice. It's got an established patient base, and I thought this next phrase was funny, and a predictable cash flow. Okay, so let's just take a look at this. So they see 25 patients a day, okay, and they do $469,000 a year, okay? So if you take 25 patients a day, multiply that by 5, okay, that's 125 patients a week, and let's just say you got 2 weeks off. So let's do that, multiply that by 50, that's 6,250 patients a year. He does 469,000. That means he's getting an average reimbursement rate, can you see that, of $75 a pop, okay? You can buy this practice for $85,000. Now, I will tell you right now, with a practice like this, okay, if this doctor were to put our system in place and we were to take his average reimbursement rate, let's just make it a conservative number of 300, see the same number of patients, so that's 6,250 patients in a year, okay, and I'm going to multiply that by 300, Okay, so you know that I'm not doing anything nefarious here. This practice can be doing $1.8 million in the next year. Okay, this practice is a gold mine waiting to happen. Okay, and the list price is $85,000. I bet you're just basically taking over the debt is what you're doing. Okay, that's one example. Okay, this is just a minor example of what we can do. Let me give you another one. Orthopedic practice. Let's see, is that a good one? Okay, so let's do this one. This is a urgent care up in the Raleigh area. They are, they don't tell you how much they're doing. Okay, so let me do this. I got one more for you. Just bear with me here for 1 second. Okay, so here's another one, and it's doing $235,000 a year. Same kind of thing. It's seeing about 20 patients a day. Okay, so let's just do that math real quickly. So they're doing 20 patients a day times 5. Okay, that's 100 patients a week. We're going to multiply that by 50 weeks. That's 5,000 patients a year. Okay, and they're doing, what did I say, $235,000 divided by 5,000. He's doing even less. Their revenue numbers can't be right, but that's $47 that they're doing. So let's just say we took that 5,000 and we multiply it by 300. This clinic can be doing 1.5 million. Now, let me ask you something. If let's say that those numbers are similar to what you are doing, okay, would you be interested in having a phone call? I'm just kind of curious because I can tell you right now, what we are able to do in a very short amount of time for clinics is that's the kind of scale that we're talking about, okay? And this doesn't require you working longer and harder hours. In fact, it would probably enable us to hire the right kind of people that you would need in order for you to take more time off. At $1.5 million a year, we certainly could hire a full-time PA for you to not have to work 50, 60 hours a week, 50 weeks out of the year, and not being able to cash your paychecks. If you have that top drawer at your desk that has all of your paychecks that you haven't cashed yet, I bet we can help you make those good. So how do we do this? Okay, so if you're interested in this, just type the word scale in the comment section or private message me. Private message our company, SRP Medical Marketing, and we'll be more than happy to do this. Now, again, this is not something that we do. We're only going to work with 4 practices. We're looking for 4 practices who want to dramatically transform their practice in a positive way and to scale it up. If you are currently doing, let's say you're doing $250,000, $400,000 or less a year, or your reimbursement rate is $70, around $70 per patient, then you at least owe it for us to have a conversation. So you might wonder what this is. This is what we call our strategic coding optimization program. Okay, so it's not medical billing. Okay, but we'll go into more of that in a little bit. But let's talk more about scale. Okay, now, one of the key things, and then I'm going to leave you with this because I got to write about a minute here. Is I just want to leave you with this: is scale. In order for you to scale, in order for you to save your practice, you have to be willing to think a little bit differently. I've made a career out of doing turnarounds, and one of the key traits that I see with people is they reach a point of hopelessness. They don't think that things are ever going to work out. They think that things are over. And the thing I want you to know is that it's not over. In fact, the future has just begun. So to scale, there's a couple of things that you have to do. 1, you got to think a little bit differently. 2, we got to have better math. So we're going to get you some better math. Okay, so I want to keep this under 10 minutes. Again, if you'd like to talk to us a little bit more on how to have those kind of numbers, just type the word scale in the comment section below or private message me, and I'll be more than happy to talk with you. Have a great afternoon. Hope the patient flow is good, and I'll talk to you at the end of the day.